freezing rain, then eventually to snow as those temperatures do drop quickly. What's also interesting tomorrow, it could be in the 30s in the I-75 corridor and around 70 in Pikeville, middle of the day. I mean, that is just simply amazing. And the snow is with us through tomorrow night. And again, there could be some heavier pockets of snow mix in there. And the cold that is coming. We're talking temperatures dropping well into the teens. So that's your big picture equation. Part of this does involve freezing rain. To explain how that affects everything, here's Jill Sweat.
Well, thanks, Bill. And it's really going to be that middle period of time as we're transitioning from rain over to snow during tomorrow afternoon that we could be seeing a light accumulation of snow across the bluegrass, less of a chance across eastern Kentucky. Meanwhile, western Kentucky, there could be more problems for icing out that way. But for those of us here in the bluegrass, in terms of ice accumulation, we could be seeing less than a half an inch. So more or less just a nuisance icing event. Your windshield is going to get coated, so you can cover it up at lunchtime so you're not chipping away as it is you're trying to safely get home late tomorrow afternoon. Also, bridges, of course, can easily become slick. We're going to have a hard time pre-treating these roads as we're going to be seeing rain falling first. That could wash away any pre-treatment before the snow begins to settle in. And then, of course, we could begin to see some ice developing on trees. But at least in this nuisance variety, widespread power outages aren't a big concern. But if we do begin to see significant icing happening, which more than likely is going to be across western Kentucky, we could add about 30 pounds to these power lines. And that really is what adds to the potential for some power outages. But again, there's not going to be a big ice storm, but we are going to be tracking really just a mixed bag of precipitation as we go through about this time tomorrow. Kevin and Nancy.
All right, Jill.
Well, definitely time to stay close to the TV. Several school systems in Kentucky, including Jefferson County, have already called off classes for tomorrow.
State emergency management officials are preparing for what could be a slick and dangerous couple of days. WLEX 18's Lee Searcy shows us what they're most concerned about and what they're doing now to keep you safe. More in the big story at 6. Whether you're mentally ready or not, winter is coming in the form of rain, sleet, snow, and ice. And don't worry, this storm is not supposed to be anything like the paralyzing ice storms of years past. Still, Kentucky Emergency Management is bracing for a whopper of an impact.
I think it's the ice and any energy or utility issues that we would have from ice, from heavy ice. Doesn't look like a great ice storm. It's certainly nothing compared to 2009, so people, I don't think, need to worry about that.
That's good news. You may remember back in 2009, the ice storm brought down trees and power lines, leaving more than 700,000 customers without power for days at a time. And sadly, 36 people died as a result of the storm. Here in Frankfort at the Emergency Operations Center, workers have been monitoring and coordinating with police, power companies, and county emergency management folks across the state to make sure all resources are ready and available when needed. The center will fully activate at midnight and run full blast until the snow and ice threat is over.
It's going to be very mostly centered in the transportation area, in travel, road travel. Certainly, we have concerns with utility issues with down power lines.
Emergency officials cannot stress enough the importance of staying on top of weather conditions and following all advisories and warnings. Officials say if you do have to get out in the mess, pack a portable emergency kit, stay out of the way of salt trucks, and one of their most important tips, check on your neighbors. Covering the news in Frankfort, Lee Searcy, WLEX 18 News. And you can always call local police to request a welfare check if you're worried about someone's safety in the storm.
Well, much of the bluegrass braces for brutally cold temperatures again, and that includes the people who help protect Lexington's most vulnerable citizens. The Catholic Action Center's Compassionate Caravan is getting ready to hit the streets on a mission to help the homeless get out of the bad weather. They've spent the past couple of days cleaning, sorting, and prepping for what's to come.
And the caravan will go out early to try to pick up people, and then hopefully we're going to have a church that's going to take our overflow so that we can all, as community, get through this next hit of winter.
For more about how you can help the Catholic Action Center, head to LEX18.com.
Round of weather means a certain situation in eastern Kentucky could go from bad to worse. People in Perry County have been living without running water for several days already. WLEX 18's Lindsay Piercy has more on efforts underway there.
4 days and counting.
Pretty tough. You don't get the bath 2 or 3 baths a day, you know, 1 bath in the morning, you got to boil your water, and it's pretty tough.
Tough to go without a necessity, water. Freezing temperatures have led to multiple broken runs and depleted tanks.
They said it could be a week or 2 before it comes back on.
In the meantime, residents long for a lifeline. That's why cars are lined up along Highway 28.
It's tough. You know, that's the reason we're out here distributing, trying to hold things together for the community.
By giving out cases of bottled water provided free of cost by the county.
It could get worse before it gets better. That's definitely a fact. You know, I mean, you know, and that's something that we got to look at. But we just try to hold it together, and do the best we can.
Hold it together and hope for relief, as Mother Nature could pack another punch.
Just hoping for the best, exactly.
Covering the news in Perry County, Lindsay Piercy, LEX 18 News.
The state Senate and House will not convene tomorrow due to the winter storm. They will reconvene on Tuesday, the 16th. Remember to track the latest storm tracker forecast? Just head to our website, lex18.com. You can also get that information on the go by downloading our free LEX18 News app. Their healthcare center closed its doors last week, and although they've reopened, their hospital is approaching full capacity. The Danville community really struggling with the flu this season. LEX18's Catherine Gardner has more.
Well, if you haven't heard it by now, flu season is in full swing in the Commonwealth. And as for Boyle County, it's no different.
The hard numbers are difficult to get at, but again, we have around 125 to 140 patients at any given time over the past 10 days or so, and approximately 30% of those have been respiratory or flu related.
Due to the amount of seasonal illnesses that Ephraim McDowell Medical Center has seen, Mark Milner says they're nearly at full capacity. But hospitals aren't the only places the flu is causing problems.
We figured that somebody brought it in Christmas.
Marlon Sparks says his healthcare center had their first flu case confirmed on Christmas, and their 21st case, their last case for now, January 3rd, leaving them no choice but to close their doors for their patients' sake.
You have to close down the facility, and you have to restrict the rooms. It's not what you want to do, it's what you have to do.
Covering the news in Boyle County, Catherine Gardner, LEX 18 News.
Lexington police are searching for the man they say shot another man Tuesday, leaving the victim with serious injuries. Investigators issued a warrant today for 20-year-old Quadrius Rashad Wright of Lexington on assault charges. They say he shot a man Tuesday afternoon on Daniel Court as the victim sat in his car. Neighbors told police the shooting followed an argument in a parking lot. Detectives say Wright and the victim are acquaintances. If you see Wright or know where he is, you're asked to call Lexington Police. The parents of a boy who was killed on a Boy Scout camping trip in Wolfe County have filed a lawsuit. WDRB in Louisville is reporting the suit was filed in November in Jefferson Circuit Court on the behalf of the parents of 11-year-old Jack Rose. Jack was alone in a tent at Chimney Top Creek in Red River Gorge November 5th of 2016 when a dead tree fell and hit him on the head. Doctors say he died on impact. His parents, James and Suzanne Rose, are suing the Lincoln Heritage Council Incorporated of the Boy Scouts of America, Scout leaders from Troop 30, and a Louisville temple for negligence. The suit seeks a jury trial and unspecified monetary damages. The Rowan County Sheriff's Office is looking for 2 people who they say broke into a woman's home, tied her up, and stole money and a car.
It happened on the 200 block of Old US 60 in Farmers yesterday. Once the intruders left the home, the victim made it to a neighbor who untied her, then called police. But it doesn't end there, as the 2 robbers made their way back to the home just minutes after they left.
As we were standing there trying to comfort her, the guys that had robbed her came back. And that's when I went and got something to protect myself.
The victim knew the robbers, but they remain on the run, and the sheriff says they are considered to be dangerous.
A Floyd County 8th grader is now school royalty, but how she got there was a pretty special journey.
Watch as this new homecoming queen's reaction was caught on camera next on LEX 18 News at 6.
A cheeseburger and a free shake. That's my kind of deal, because I also am both hot and cool. Okay. How are you hot? Okay.
Okay.
Get a free small classic shake with a cheeseburger or a foot-long coney. This is how you Sonic.
You reach that wake-up call and you're like, okay, I'm going to have to do something about my weight. They helped me lose 110 pounds. I feel healthy, more outgoing, more confident, just better about myself. Ageless saved my life. It works, and I would do it again in a minute.
The road is a connection, more than gravel and blacktop. It is possibility, people. It is chance of the best kind. And the you were meant to meet, they're out there too. The future is unknown, but your freedom isn't. At least, it doesn't have to be. Be bold. Go. Enjoy the road ahead.
Your #1 furniture warehouse, Lexington Overstock Warehouse. Low overhead, low prices, quality furniture and mattresses. Family room sectional by Ashley, only $6.99. Simmons Queen mattress set for $2.97. This weekend only. Don't miss it. Big truck companies pushing for bigger profits can mean overworked drivers carrying dangerous unsecured loads. The results can be devastating, even fatal.
I'm attorney Darrell Isaacs, the Hammer. Big trucks can destroy lives. And the numbers show big truck wrecks are on the rise. We're not afraid of these big trucks or their big insurance companies. These are just a few of the actual big truck settlements we've gotten our clients. And we're ready to fight for you. So if you've been in a wreck with a big truck, call the Hammer.
Play Keno wherever Kentucky lottery tickets are sold. With Keno, you decide how much to wager and how often to play. It's easy. We'll walk you through the details at kylottery.com.
These little chickies and little doggies are small, but they're intense.
Well, yeah, small and intense like my niece Hannah.
And you take karate?
Show them how intense you are.
Now finish him.
Try our little doggies and little chickies for only $1.49. This is how you Sonic.
An amazing moment at Duff Allen Central Elementary School Wednesday night.
Students crowned 8th grader Kenzie Sloan as homecoming queen. WLEX 18's Catherine Collins tells us why this Floyd County night was so very special.
Duff Allen Central Elementary basketball homecoming queen is
a moment Kenzie Sloan's family will never forget.
Kenzie Sloan.
The 8th grader with Down syndrome voted homecoming queen by her classmates.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Stacia Sloan watched in the crowd as her daughter was crowned.
Just being able to, to share that with her, and, her dad and I are so proud of her because she did so well, and that was really great for us.
It was great for Kenzie too.
Big crown. I love it. And beautiful.
Her classmate Luke was happy to be her escort.
One of the best experiences of my life.
He says it's no surprise Kenzie won.
She's just so cool. Like, she gets everything. She's real fun to be around.
The whole experience was overwhelming for Kenzie's mom.
And of course there were many tears shed, and just the feeling of just love and support and acceptance of everything.
It's just another reason she loves sending her daughter to school here. Covering the news in Floyd County, Catherine Collins, WLEX 18 News.
That is pretty special.
A lot of great kids in that school.
Yeah. Your WLEX 18 storm tracker forecast, a cold one, is up after this.
Sometimes a fast foodie's eyes are bigger than his wallet. And now that a juicy all-beef patty topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomato, and melted cheese is just $1, a missing dollar won't destroy your dreams. The Rally Burger with cheese for just $1. Rallies and Checkers,
The official burger of the Louisville Cardinals.
It happens all the time. You've been in a car wreck, you're banged up pretty bad, and someone you barely know tells you where to get your medical treatment. Does that make sense to you? Go see a certified doctor. Take care of your pain and injuries at a medical facility like Synergy. The certified medical specialists provide physical therapy for a living. They can help you with your insurance paperwork and help you get legal support as well. Give them a call and let them take care of you. It's your choice. Choose Synergy.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or been diagnosed with another asbestos-related cancer, call now. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Thousands of hardworking men and women have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers put profits ahead of safety. Manufacturers knew the risks of asbestos exposure for years, but knowingly manufactured and sold deadly asbestos-containing materials, putting millions of American workers at risk. These manufacturers have tried to avoid compensating their victims, but the courts have ordered them to set aside an estimated $30 billion in trust money for the victims of asbestos. Call now to see if you're entitled to a portion of the $30 billion. You could receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or going to court.
Call 800-568-6980 now for a free legal consultation. Again, that's 800-568-6980. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Hey, good day, this is Matt Jones. Here's what we do. We talk about all the news of the state. That includes Kentucky basketball, but also politics, entertainment. Whatever's going on, we give it to you. 10 o'clock every night, WBNA, Channel 21.
Your everyday weather forecast is an important thing. We help you get ready for your day. For us, there are about a couple of dozen times a year where the weather forecast is really important. This is one of those times. As we talk about our Storm Tracker Winter Weather Threat Index, you can see that it has moved to a 2. The reason being, expect tomorrow evening, even perhaps as early as this time tomorrow, maybe even a little earlier, we could have some significant travel impacts around the area. What's going to be happening tomorrow afternoon, evening into Saturday morning, we're going to see a transition from rain to ice to snow. Accumulations of freezing rain and snow are likely, and again, that will impact travel, and perhaps significantly tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, and for that reason, we go to the 2. It's not something that looks like it's going to snow you in for the weekend, but travel even for some on Saturday could be a little bit utsy. What we are looking at is a general amount, 3 to 6 inches of snow, and that's going to be mixed with freezing rain and sleet. There will be a swath somewhere nearby of 4 to 8 inch snow if the storm itself that we right now think is going to travel somewhere on the west side of the Appalachians. If it ends up just on the other side of the mountains, we could bring that heavier swath more into central Kentucky, so it's awfully close. The lesser amounts toward the Lake Cumberland area because we're going to mix more freezing rain in at that point. By the way, if the transition to freezing rain, sleet, to snow, if it happens a little more slowly, we end up at the higher numbers. If it happens more quickly, actually reverse that. If it happens quickly, we end up at the higher numbers. If we have a slow transition from freezing rain to snow, we end up at the lower numbers that you see there. We have a winter weather advisory, all of central eastern Kentucky. So that's all of us. Winter storm warning essentially from Highway 127, or at least west of 127. That winter storm warning, do not be surprised if it gets pushed eastward with time, given the new data that was coming in this afternoon. Warnings run all the way down to Mississippi and all the way up to New England. We also have a flood watch up in eastern Kentucky, Leslie County, Breathitt County, Morgan County eastward for the potential for some locally heavy rain during the day tomorrow. Rain and mild tomorrow morning and very warm in the east through the middle of the day. After noon, the Arctic air begins to really plow in a quick transition, rain to freezing rain to snow. Tomorrow, late afternoon, evening into Saturday, snow will accumulate, and there will again be travel impacts. So what's going on is, again, that quick change from rain to freezing rain to snow as the Arctic air plunges underneath. We'll see that happen tomorrow afternoon and evening. The Arctic air comes in quickly. It will replace the record warmth of the last 2 days. And again, that swath of heavier snow, we will continue to track the exact path of all this to give you the best details as it unfolds. Worst case scenario, multiple inches of snow and ice, travel difficult well into the weekend. Best case scenario, and that's looking less likely now, an inch or two with some ice. Bottom line, tomorrow night, either scenario is going to be nasty, and I think both of these end with brutally cold weather. So here's what happens. Low pressure comes up from the south. There's your cold front, and again, that's Arctic air, and the transition will be quick from rain to freezing rain to snow, so that by the afternoon, we are seeing that transition take place in the I-75 corridor, and then by the evening, we are in all snow that lasts well into the night, and there could be times it comes down at a pretty good clip. Max Track Live Doppler, not much going on. Watch the temperature fall. So we start you at 5 in the morning. The bright white you see there, that is the freezing line. So there's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's in the mid-60s in Pikeville, I-75 corridor, at or below freezing, and those temperatures just continue to plummet. So for tonight, you're looking at, well, temperatures staying mild. Some showers will be around. We'll be in the upper 40s to around 50 come the morning. Temperatures fall during the day. Mid-20s, rain changes to freezing rain, sleet, and then eventually snow with accumulations likely. Then it's the Arctic cold. Keith Farmer has sports right after this.
I'm Debbie Morris, the Vice President of Human Resources for Heaven Hill Brands, and our over 700...
Know what it's for? Show out here at Autos.
Yeah.
Find a pair of glasses.
From Campbellsville down through Litchfield into Columbia, Paoli, Seymour, Bedford, also in that 1 to 3. But here is that stripe, kind of hugging the Ohio River in that blue, where 2 to as much as 5 inches of snow possible for a majority of Louisville Metro up through LaGrange and into Madison. There could be some slightly higher amounts in there, but I definitely think a solid coating of snow is likely on top of the ice, and roads Friday evening are going to be a complete mess. Rain, much colder tonight, 35 degrees, cold enough that will go from rain to ice to snow tomorrow. Temperatures falling from the 30s down into the 20s. Saturday, just downright cold.
Sneeze my hat. Got some non-clumping kit.
Showroom only for...
He was in...
year ban. When we come back tonight, a story and a little boy you will definitely remember, and what happened to him today. Gotta see it.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, brought to you by Publishers Clearinghouse.
It's happening.
All right,
this
guys.
February 23rd, Publishers Clearinghouse will